Hamilton has traditionally been a very industrial city, a city with many factories, especially large industrial facilities. But over the course of the last 30, 40 years, much of that has changed, and that's left a lot of folks behind. And so it's a city where there's a lot of intergenerational poverty, but Hamilton has also, over the course of the last 20 years, been a destination for a lot of newcomer families, refugee families. When Pathways to Education came to Hamilton in 2009, we started with a small group of about 50 grade 9 students. Each year we saw that grow with another group of grade 9s until we reached about 350 to 400 students. Now here in 2022, we've got close to 700 students registered in our program as our catchment area has expanded and we've been able to reach more and more students. Different students have different unique needs, and something special about the Pathways to Education program is that what we offer is a sort of comprehensive and flexible set of supports that different students can take advantage of at different times in their lives and when different needs arise.
Compass decided to start the Pathways program and to work together with Pathways in bringing the Pathways program to Hamilton. Really stemmed from a lot of community engagement that we had done at the time. As a community health center, we really focus in on the broad determinants of health. Issues like housing, income, food security, education impact your health just as much as genetics and even lifestyle do, right? And so because of that, we do provide your primary care and clinical services, and at the same time recognize that is as important to health as community programs like Pathways to Education. The community needs back in when we started the program aren't necessarily the same as they are now. And so Pathways has been very good to work with us to, as our community evolves, as our neighborhood evolves, the program then also evolves with it, right? And the way we support students and we support families.
The rapport that gets built, especially with the young grade 8s as they're coming into the program, when we get to reach out to them in their grade 8 classrooms, I think it's that enthusiasm. The enthusiasm of our Pathways coaches really draws the students in.
At Pathways, we're really lucky to have a lot of volunteers who support our education side of our program and our tutoring program. So we have volunteers who can help with English, advanced math, physics, and come into our spaces to offer those supports and also share their experience in those areas. We have retired engineers, retired teachers, students who are in university or college who come and support our students with those subjects. In class, they don't have the opportunity to spend a lot of time with their teachers really understanding the material, or they don't get that one-on-one support, which is something that we're able to offer through our wonderful volunteers who are very, very patient with our students, take their time, help them build that capacity, help them understand. The academic side of education is always a challenge to get students to engage with, but we try to make our tutoring spaces as open and welcoming as possible. So we do a lot of social activities with our students there. We make it a very free-form space so students can come in, hang out with their friends. I had one student who I started working with her in grade 9, and when she came into the program, she hated math, was insistent that she could not do math, she was going to fail math. So I started working with her one-on-one because she had a lot of anxiety about coming to programming and a lot of concerns about asking for help with math because she thought that her math level was too low. She was embarrassed by it. We went through questions together and slowly built her confidence so that she could work with other volunteers, that she could go and ask her teacher for help, and help her really see that she had the capability.
When I hear from young people what their needs are, for me, it's about hopefully being proactive so that gaps don't start forming. The partnerships that are developed, I value and I work really hard to maintain so that they benefit our young people. We're very intentional in taking them to post-secondary campuses. So we've gone to Mohawk and we've gone to McMaster. If they can see themselves on that campus, we're hopeful that they can see themselves going to grade 9 that will lead them further on. We had one young person, she was an award recipient. She was connected at McMaster and currently she works for them. So when we take our students over to McMaster, our students get to see her and she talks about how she was part of Pathways. So it's just that whole full circle. Those opportunities are are so important.
I recently had a student graduate, and I saw her at our graduation celebration, and she kind of told me when I was in grade 9 and 10, I really appreciated our meetings together, because knowing that I was gonna meet you the next day and I told you I was gonna have these things done, it helped me be a little bit more accountable to finishing what I had to finish for homework. Having that trusting adult there to kind of guide you and give you advice and be in your corner when you need it, or accompany you to go and talk to a teacher. You know, as Pathways coaches, we have to pivot left and right and try and help students as much as we can. I love when students come back and they visit me or consult me for help, but for the most part, if I've taught you how to stand up for yourself or how to advocate for yourself, I think is the best thing that we can pass on to students for their future.
One of the core supports of Pathways to Education is our financial support. In the Pathways community here in Hamilton, many families are facing difficult financial times. The Pathways to Education scholarship that the students earn as part of their enrollment is a big support for those families. It gets the students started on their post-secondary journey, and crucially, it helps them see that post-secondary education is an option. Here in Hamilton, we're able to offer emergency financial support for those families who are having acute financial distress. We're able to provide temporary food support or temporary transportation support to help students get to school, to make sure that they're at school in the morning and that they can get home afterwards, or that they have food in their belly to make sure they're able to focus during the day.
So my name is Tyler Fournier. I graduated Pathways in 2013 from the Pathways Hamilton site. So I think being an alumni of Pathways Hamilton specifically with my students, it's very important that they can see that someone made it. Someone who faced very similar barriers was able to overcome a lot of those challenges, and sometimes that's all they need. One thing I always tell my students is to always consider the trades. The trades are a great option, and I want to kind of show them that Pathways, that there's more than one way to get where you want to go.
My name is Natalie, and I graduated from Pathways in 2017, and I currently work at Hamilton Health Sciences. If I was to think about the person I was in 9th grade versus the person I was in 11th grade, I would say that my needs changed as a Pathways student. In the beginning, I definitely just needed help figuring out who I was as a person and developing into somebody that believed in themselves. So by the time grade 11 came around, I had more confidence, and Pathways really helped me to see my own potential. When I was 21, my father passed away unexpectedly, and the service details were posted online, and the whole day, I was keeping my composure. It wasn't until I saw my Pathways coach come to the funeral completely uninvited, that's how I knew that Pathways staff care.
It came through my brother because he was a member of Pathways, so I got given the opportunity. Pathways helped me during high school because I saw my progress as I compared it to my previous years in high school, and my senior years I was much better, more comfortable with presentations and leading projects in classes. 2 years ago, we started the youth leadership program. We talked about many different types of leaders and how not each leader has to be the same, and you need all these types to actually make a team work. You needed to be compassionate, you needed to be understanding, introverted somewhat, and all these components would make you a better leader because you could connect with your group and the people you're leading more.
One of the most important impacts I've seen of the Pathways to Education program is the way that it's found its way right into the heart of the community. Many youngsters will move into grade 8 with the knowledge that they'll be already moving on to the Pathways to Education program in grade 9. Our reputation in families with youngsters, many families already have siblings and cousins and friends of the family that are involved in the program. So it's something that people have come to expect as a part of growing up in the north end of Hamilton.
I have siblings who are also getting integrated into Pathways, and then I've seen how much it's done for me, and I'm willing to again give back.
It absolutely has the ability to change students' lives.
It's about providing them an opportunity to dream, to see themselves somewhere else, to see themselves as someone else.
I just think that having an adult in your corner, someone to talk things over or hold your hand when you're feeling unsure or scared, someone who comes without bias, someone who comes without judgment, I think is really beneficial in a young person's life.
It is more than just tutoring. It's more than just the formal education piece. It's about life goals. It's about reaching that next step, whatever it may be. If you want to pursue post-secondary, if you want to go into a trade, if you want to go in the workforce, it's an amazing program, and I want everyone to know that.
A youth walked into the office who had graduated 5 years earlier and said, I just graduated from university and I was accepted into the grad school that I want to, and actually this program that they had dreamed about, and said, you're the first person I wanted to tell. Really, I mean, that's the essence of the work at Pathways, right? It's that caring relationship between an adult and a student that matters so much that 5 years later, the first person a youth wants to tell was their youth coach from 5 years ago. Though that's the kind of thing that gets me up in the morning. That makes me excited and makes me just wholeheartedly believe in what we do.